Yes. Yes. We have had a great time. And we will go almost every day to the beach, spend some time with the kids, trying to do some surf. And then I try to come 2 or 3 times a day to the studio to see how things are going. And we have had an amazing time. It's always interesting to a new city, no? To see a new city, to experience a new city.
Bolo da Teixeira, aqui estão os preciosos.
Isso o quê?
É o bolo da Teixeira, que é do melhor que há.
É ali, não é pequenino.
Mas não é
Pequenino.
Pronto, é grande.
Buena vendedora.
Boa vendedora.
We were talking, Fernando and me, and I mean, always the relation with a gallerist and it's like a marriage, no? So first you begin to talk about, then you date, and then you marry, no? So we were talking about doing something, and then Fernando, I think it was last February, Fernando invited me to come for a weekend here, to Porto with him. I came to Porto. Normally I'm a very, what's the word in English? I'm not shy, but I don't like to talk so much, and so we drive from Madrid to here in car. And I was telling to my wife, wow, the day before I said, I don't know this guy, and I'm going to have to spend 4 hours there in the car talking with him, and I don't like because but at the end I really got a very good feeling about Fernando and his project. No, but the first point for me is the most important thing is that for me my career in art it's about the journey. And if I'm going to do the journey with somebody, I like to do it with somebody that I like, that I enjoy to be with. So all my gallerists and all the people I have been involved until now is people that I really enjoy having a drink with them, or talking about life, or stupid things, or a joke or whatever. So then when I meet Fernando in the car and then we begin to talk and to say, I mean, I really like to, I would really like to do something with this guy. And then obviously, of course, I saw the gallery. It's an amazing space, and the whole career of Fernando, it has been a gallery with a very strong program of artists that I admire and I respect. Some of them friends of mine, like Idañez or Ray Smith or Schnabel, and that's when I decided to go ahead with this project. In my work, I look also a lot for the accident, not for the things that are not controlled. So when you arrive to a new town with a different climate and the different sawdust and different glue and different pigments and different, like everything represents a challenge. But my process is very fast in a certain way. My process is about getting into the painting. I call it the human part of the painting. It's getting into the painting, it's kind of action painting, very informal in a certain way, completely informal in a certain way, very physical, going around the painting, throwing material, moving, and then for the next few days when they're still fresh, I still put some pigments on top, layers of color, water, but then I stop and then I let the painting develop by itself. What I'm looking my paintings, and I'm a big follower of and it's not a philosophy, but for the wabi-sabi aesthetic. So to look for the accident, to look for the uniqueness. I think we're I try to think maybe in a very poetic way that in the times we're living, that everything is consumption, everything is materialism. To try to find this kind of work that is simple, in the good word of simple, that it obliges the spectator, the viewer, to get into it, to search, to heal, to feel it, no?
How do you come to the colors you use in each situation? For instance, here it's about black and red.
Yes.
But it could be blue.
See, no, for example, the show I'm doing in London now, it's graphite paintings, all graphite. I try to do a single color or as less colors as possible. Because people is very lazy to read the paintings. So if I do it for a lot of colors, like the first show I made with Pace, I did a lot of colors because me and Pace, we wanted to show, like, it was my first show there. But people say, I like the blue, I like the pink, I like the black.
It's not about that.
It's very easy way.
Yeah.
So when this is just one color, you oblige them to read them, to get into them, and to find the rhythm and say,
really look at
the one I like is this one. I don't know why, but the one I like is that one. So that's what I like about monochromatic shows. When I went to see the Galeria Fernando, I don't know, the first thought it was to do it all black. And then Fernando told me, it's your first show, why don't we try to, because I always have a lot of, conversations with the galleries. I'm not
alone.
No, and also I understand that my point is to do the paintings. That's what I like to do. That's what I love to do. And there's a lot of things that I don't get involved in, I don't care. For example, yesterday they called me from Pace for the title of London and told me, do you mind if we change this to whatever you want? For me, it's things that are not important, a title or a name or at the end the color. For me, it's the beauty of be able to find this process and move it and do it. So Fernando told me, why don't we do 2 or 3 red ones and we can place it here, that is like 2 different ambiances. It's okay. See, because each color, it's the first time I do this kind of resin. And I don't know why. In reality,
I love that one.
This one is very good.
But
it's completely different. It's completely different from what I was expecting. I was not expecting, when I imagined them, I was not expecting this kind of work. I was young, I admire always 2 painters. Well, not 2 painters, 2 movements. The informalists, led by Tapies and maybe some of the Italian guys, or Cobra also in a certain way. And the Buffet, I love them. But also I love them, the colorist artists like Rothko or De Kooning or San Francis. So for me, but if you read some articles that Tapis wrote, and I had the opportunity to meet him, and he always told that the matter was speaking by itself. It didn't need the color. So that the energy of the matter, it speaks by itself and it heals by itself, and I completely agree with that.
Of course.
But on the other side, when you see the writings of abstract expressionism, they also talk about the color, the healing of the color. So for me, I always love the color and I always love the matter. So it was like a searching to try to mix those things. And it has been, my whole road, it has been trying to mix color and matter or
movement.
Or the movement, of course. And obviously, this has a lot of influence for everything. That's impossible to.
Yeah, absolutely.
To say that it's
like every
single thing, but at least it's a work that you find this is Bosco Sodi, and you see Douglas Gordon, you say this is Douglas Gordon, and you see Teresita, you say this is Teresita Fernandez.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's the point. I think what we respect as artists about other artists
is that they have their fist.
Is that they have their fist, exactly.
Is there any relation of your work with Mexican traditions or something?
I got that question yesterday exactly from I'm doing a show in London with Pace, and they sent me that question from somebody that was going to make an interview, a magazine from New York, exactly the same. And I think, I mean, obviously the management of the color in Mexico, I mean, the way we live with the color, it's very strong. Very close also to maybe to Portugal. There are very few countries in the world that they really do the day by day with so much colors as Mexico, as Portugal, maybe
in Spain.
Maybe in Spain, maybe some place in South America. But certainly there is, I mean, at least I'm not afraid to color, first of all, no? And then also I remember since I was very young that I love these fachadas, cuarteadas, tronadas, que at the end they look like tapias, no?
Tapias would talk about how they call them, muros.
Sí, los muros en Cataluña, que están todos grabados y todo esto, pero since I was very young, I love to see those kind of facades. I always put my I don't know how do you call it, mi puño.
Sí, your fist.
Sí.
It's your signature.
I like to do it. It's like this kind of child, but sometimes you can see it and sometimes it's much more settled. But you see how each one, for example, when I was doing these three paintings, I thought the best one was that one. But then the cracking comes, and for me now, maybe the best one is this one.
They change.
They change a lot. One time, a nice anecdote I have, it's one time in the summer, 5 years ago, before I was doing the show at the Bronx Museum in New York, I did a round painting, and I didn't like it at all. But it was the last day of summer, it was very hot in my studio, so I told to my assistants, okay, let's destroy it, because when I don't like them, I try to destroy them. And told me, no, it's the last day, it's late, leave it here, when we come back in summer, we destroy the painting. Thank you very much, really.
And thanks for my
I
birthday.
appreciate it. Yeah, you're welcome.
That was really nice.
Okay, so see you tomorrow here.
All right.
Bueno, so thank you, Lindsay, for everything, eh? Thank you very much. Ya está. Normally when we go to long travels, to like when we went to Japan or when we go to Berlin or everything, if I'm going to paint for a long time, they always come with me. And even sometimes they help me to paint, no?
Yeah.
¿Cómo? Yes, when I was young, my father, it's equally important the role of my mother than my father. But my father, as he was a chemical engineer, he used to make a lot of experiments in the house. So we were raised in a way of doing experiments. We always have different things in the refrigerator, different experiments, or in the kitchen. We were having fires and everything. So we were raised on that way of doing experiments and failure, no? And on the other side, my mother, he always took us to museums. She used to give us classes in the school because I was in a Montessori school. And in the Montessori school, as you know, the fathers, they collaborate, they ayudan mucho en el colegio. And she was giving all of us classes of Picasso, of Monet, of Manet, of Matisse. All of the work has a relation in the sense that this last series that I have been making for the last 6-7 years it's about this approach to organic materials that you don't control. A huge part of the outcome in the painting is this part that you don't control. You have seen the paintings in the studio, and then we were talking about that. You begin to see the crackings, and the different way they crack makes them completely unique. And what we are looking for is the uniqueness on the work. I look for that kind of uniqueness, this kind of irrepetible, something that is completely unrepeatable, that is completely out of your boundaries to decide of not if you want even if you want the same painting, it's impossible, no? A few years ago, when a very important collector from Europe came to my studio, and he decided to buy one of the paintings that I like the most. And I'm inside me I thought, okay, I can try to make something similar, and I never could do it again because I don't work with any kind of sketches or formula or anything like that. I just go to the studio and begin to paint, and so it's impossible for me to repeat any work. Pero todos tienen la firma, Fernando?
Para haver uma relação entre as peças, que não é difícil, mas cheguei à conclusão que era importante separar estas três peças. Ao longo da secagem, os materiais reagem e ficam com uma
Este quadro es buenísimo.
¿no?
Buenísimo.
Não tem piada que são todos.
No, pero esta pieza es buenísima. Buenísima, de las 3 mejores piezas que he hecho en mi vida.
Não, mas...
Es buenísima, hija de su madre. I think at the end, painting is like living. No, it's you don't have timing for anything. No, it's just I feel that I can still do a lot more in this kind of work. But you never know. Maybe tomorrow I will see something here in Portugal that will make me change completely the work. No.
We hope so.
Yeah, we hope so.
Good.
Yes.
No.
Yes.